What's going on, everybody? How we doing? I'm good, man. Yeah, I'm good. How are you doing? You okay? You excited for the draw? Let me know if you guys have got any kind of gut feel for any of the draws. Do you think anybody's going to face off? Who you might know? I love Barcelona. Ah, I have mixed feelings about Barcelona. To me, it's one of the worst run clubs in the modern era. Uh, they have, uh, in large part, to me, not ruined, but they have negatively impacted the career of Lionel Messi, which I'm not a huge fan of. But historically, man, I love Carlos Puyol, um, Victor Valdez, Ronald Koeman, Iniesta, Xavi, Busquets. There's a lot of Barcelona. Ronaldinho back in the day. There are lots of Barcelona. There are a lot of things to like about Barcelona. Messi or Ronaldo? I'm a Ronaldo guy. Um, I think Messi's a better, more talented footballer than Ronaldo. But to me, greatness is, the desire to win. Ronaldo's been successful now in three different countries, two international trophies, Champions Leagues, the hardest club competition to win. He has more of those. So I think Ronaldo, but it's close. It's close. It's really close. Have you guys got any? You guys got any picks who you think is going to face off today? Any gut feels? Any superstitions? Yeah, Messi, Ronaldo. That's a tough one. Thing that's I think difficult about the Messi and Ronaldo conversation is if if Messi had the club support him a bit more, so they operated better in the transfer market, they weren't so reliant on him, then I think Messi could have achieved way more than he has. And I say this to James all the time. It's kind of a scary thought if you think about it. If Messi had, a bit more support around him in terms of, support from the club, oof, what he could achieve. Champions League every year, that kind of stuff. It's big. Do you guys have any predictions for who's gonna win the Champions League this year? Is it just gonna be Bayern? Are we just gonna say it's gonna be Bayern?
such an open race. So many things happen in the Premier League as well. It could be an outsider team like Chelsea come through.
Who knows, eh? And looking at that.
So it's obviously supposed to start at 11, but I know there's usually some messing around before we get to that point. So we may start at like 11:15 or 11:20. I'm just trying to get my lighting a bit better here, so you guys can see me a bit better. But yeah, any questions or predictions? Let us know in the chat. So runners up, we've got Atalanta, not as good as they were last year. Atletico Madrid playing very well, just had their first loss against Real Madrid, 2-0, and the Madrid derby. Barcelona, who are playing awfully, but you can imagine that's a very motivated Messi to try and do something in the Champions League. Borussia Mönchengladbach, who going pretty strong at the moment in the Bundesliga. Lazio, a bit hit and miss in Serie A. RB Leipzig, who are playing really, really well, and it looks like they're going to sign that Hungarian guy from Salzburg, Szoboszlai, or whatever his name was. So they're looking really strong too. Thing is, with all those runners up, of course, there can be some teams that do better or worse, because Barcelona were, I think, 1 goal against Juventus away from going through as the winner of their group and not being the runner up. So, it can really be that close. So I think are we getting over to that now? I think we might be. Yeah, here we go. Draw is starting, everybody. Host Pedro Pinto. And that beautiful Champions League trophy. Oof. Any questions, like I say, do let us know in the chat, because it may be a while before we start drawing some names out here. You want Porto? Man, I don't blame you. Anybody from the Portuguese league is, unless they're managed by Jose Mourinho, is usually a pretty easy draw. So I don't blame you there at all. Do you guys have any gut feel on who's going to get who? Any predictions? Perez out. Yeah, man, I feel you as well on that. Jeez. Real, I mean, that win against Atletico Madrid was kind of a big deal, though. Atletico Madrid have a couple games in hand in La Liga, but it's an important win for Real Madrid, and if they can get some form going and get rolling, you never know what might happen with Real Madrid and potentially trying to win the league this year. That's it's not out of the question. There's a very talented young squad there. We'll see what happens. Couple old heads too, don't get me wrong. Sergio Ramos, Benzema. Okay, so we got a bit of a promo video here, the Champions League. Atalanta, like I say, not hitting the heights as they were before, and I think Papu Gomez has had some troubles with the manager. He may leave in January. Atletico Madrid have been amazing this year, but obviously, they've struggled against Real Madrid. Barca, this is going to be an unbelievably motivated Leo Messi, and for some of these Barca players, it's going to be their last chance, maybe, to win the Champions League. Bayern, best team in football right now for my money. It's really theirs to lose. Dortmund just sacked Lucien Favre. Some incredibly talented individual players doing really well. Gio Reyna's killing it. Haaland. But, overall, not really much of a team. Mönchengladbach, surprising that they're in it, but good to see. Chelsea, just getting better and better. That young team, they're just getting to know each other a little more. Juve, you have Mr. Champions League, Cristiano Ronaldo in there. Pirlo, obviously, a little bit more of an uneducated coach at this point, but with a football brain like that, I don't think you need the coaching badges. Lazio, obviously very dangerous, not quite as up to it as they were last year. And then RB Leipzig, like I was talking about, they signed the kid, a Hungarian kid from Salzburg, and look really good in the Bundesliga. Liverpool, obviously injured like crazy at the moment, but still potentially very strong. Man City, Pep's now under a lot of pressure, but he's kind of got to show it now. And PSG, obviously you've got that crazy attack. They're very dangerous, but just haven't been able to do it in the Champions League. And then Porto, obviously our guy Hala Madrid, hashtag Perez out, wants them for Madrid. I don't blame him. And then you got Real Madrid pedigree there with a lot of Champions League winners. Zizou, obviously he's not messing around. Sevilla, always good in knockout competitions, not just Unai Emery, but Julien Lopetegui as well. So, there's some tough picks in here. There's not really a clear standout group of winners, I would say, which is the good one. That's going to be kind of the most entertaining thing. I still think it's Bayern's to lose. I think you're crazy if you don't think that Bayern are, at least odds-on favourites, at least going to make it to the semis or even the final. Check the chat here. Madrid can't win UCL until Perez goes. Attacks been bang average. Yeah, I mean, I know what you mean. Benzema is still very good. Vinicius and Rodrigo, I think they need time to get a little better and have a little bit more time to play. And the midfield needs refreshing. I think that's the main thing. I like some of the pieces that they have, but that Real Madrid midfield has been the same for way too long now. I'm still surprised Pogba, a deal hasn't been worked out for them to sign Pogba, really. Juve versus Atletico Madrid for the shithousery, yeah, man, that would be a fun watch for sure. Ronaldo, what was it, holding up the 5? More hat tricks against Atletico Madrid. No, the only guy to score hat tricks against Atletico Madrid or something like that. Abe's Tech, where's James? I don't know where James is actually. I know he had to be up quite early this morning. I think he might even have work. But yeah, it's just unfortunately you guys are stuck with me right now. I'd like to have James with me, but unfortunately, yeah, James is unavailable. But I'm hoping he's free tonight. Obviously, we're going to react to the weekend's action, and obviously maybe a little reaction to the draw as well. I just wanted to make sure that you guys had kind of a live reaction. James and I want to do this a little more, making sure that we can, especially with big games as well, react to them as they play. Just do some watch along stuff, interact with you guys a little more. Obviously, any questions you have or comments or anything like that. So, guys, as expected, it starts at 11 o'clock, and we've still got guys in suits talking on stage. So, not ideal, but that's okay. So, I'm going to have a sip of my coffee. So I'm really not sure of any of the matchups, to be honest with you. Usually there are some teams in where I think you'd say, oh, I have a feeling this person, like Arsenal are probably going to get Bayern, right? That seems to always happen. So I think it will be interesting to see what the matchups hold for us. But we'll see. The only guy to score hat trick versus Simeone at the moment, Messi. Messi has, but it's still Pre-2011 table. Yeah. So you want Porto. Who's Hala Madrid hashtag Perez out? Well, who's the last team that you want? Who do you want to avoid? Who ideally do you want to not get? Anybody that kind of comes to mind for you here that you just think, oh, I can't be dealing with that as a Real Madrid fan? So we got an ex-Borussia Dortmund striker. I can't say I'm familiar with him. Doing the first pot here. All these fantastic suits, these guys. Stéphane Chapuisat. I'd imagine that's going to be a French name. Not Leipzig. Man, I hear you. That's a very dangerous team with some young, talented guys and a coach who is kind of fearless at the moment. Nagelsmann. It'll be interesting to see where he goes next. I think it's very easy to think that. I think it's very easy to think that he'll go to Bayern after Hansi Flick finishes, but this is Flick's real kind of first major opportunity at a major team, and he's going to want to hold on to that for as long as he can, especially with this Bayern group. But yeah, Nagelsmann, there's some good, the Red Bull model, and getting players from Salzburg and all this kind of stuff. Things are going in the right direction. I think the scary thing for Leipzig is going to be next summer, where the that release clause is open for Dayo Upamecano, and the likes of Liverpool, Manchester United, PSG, Real Madrid, all these big teams are going to start being like, well, hang on, we want this really good, big, strong, fast defender for a cut price. So that's going to be tricky for him. But lots of good attacking talent, and the kid from the Salzburg kid who Arsenal and Real Madrid were interested in going to Leipzig is definitely gonna help him. But yeah, again, guys, as expected, it's 11:11 now, and we're still on, wearing suits on stage, and we're chatting. Like, draw the teams. That's what we want. We want to draw the teams. We're not here to see the show. We want to see who's playing who here. Come on. I wonder. So I think we've got the UEFA representative now. He's going to be talking about the way it's going to work in terms of who's coming in. So we have the second guy coming in now. UEFA head of club competitions, Michael Hesselwert. Jeez. And I think one thing that James always talks about with these is James really doesn't care about the group stage anymore. I think he's crazy. I think sometimes the group stage can be very exciting. I think we saw that with Juve Barca, that last game. Man United Leipzig, that loss or draw to Başakşehir here in Turkey, that meant eventually really that they didn't make it through. And I think the group stage, maybe not at the beginning, but the last couple of game weeks can always be very interesting. But largely, I do agree with James. The knockout is really where the fun starts, because you got the best teams playing each other. Knockout competition's always fun. The away goal thing starts to come in, and teams can really go for it because there's no goal difference or league position. They can just go out and try and win the game. But yeah, guys, any questions, any comments, predictions? Let us know in the chat here while these guys keep talking. We want the draw. I think usually it takes about 15 minutes for them to get through all this stuff to actually be in a position to draw the teams. But we'll see. Okay, yeah, let's see what we got.
During the round of 16, we start with the Group winners, the seeded teams, FC Bayern München, Borussia Dortmund, Chelsea FC,
So guys, team winners for the beginning: Bayern Munich, Germany; Borussia Dortmund, Germany; Chelsea, England; Juventus, Italy; Liverpool, England.
Atalanta, Atletico Madrid,
And the runners-up: Atalanta, Italy; Atletico Madrid, Spain; Barcelona, Spain; Mönchengladbach, Germany; Lazio, Italy; Leipzig, Germany; Porto, Portugal; Sevilla, Spain.
I will draw the runners-up and I will provide an update score for punch up with that would be the man who will decide the
Man. Okay, here we go. So the runners-up is getting drawn. It looks like Dortmund. Oh no, Mönchengladbach. So we got Borussia Mönchengladbach, number 1 as the runner-up team. So paired with 5 different clubs, apart from Bayern, Borussia Dortmund, and Real Madrid, who they already played, put in a separate bowl, and then they take it out. So I don't, that's not bad. It's not a bad way of doing it. So this is Borussia Mönchengladbach against. So it can't be Real Madrid or the German teams. So it doesn't leave a lot. Our guys struggling with the ball here. There he goes. Got it, finally. Jeez. Who we got? Who we got? This should be an easy draw. Man City. Okay. So nice, easy kind of first knockout for Man City. I'd be blown away if they didn't get past Borussia Mönchengladbach. Mönchengladbach are a team playing well. We can't deny that. They are going strong, relatively strong in the Bundesliga right now, but Man City way too good, surely. Surely. Lazio, okay, obviously not a huge fan of Lazio over here, but that's okay. They deserve to be there. So obviously that can't be against Dortmund or Juve, and Man City are out now. So this is going to be a tough one for Lazio, and whoever gets drawn here, you'd imagine this is another one of the easier picks. Lazio not quite on it as much this year as they really should be. So this should be an easy one. Obviously, Ciro Immobile is always very dangerous. They play well as a team, Lazio, but this really should be a win for whoever gets drawn now. Bayern Munich. Damn. So that's tough for Lazio. That's not going to be easy. Bayern Munich, obviously my pick, and I'm sure a lot of you guys picks to win this thing. I don't think it takes a bold man to say that this is not going to be one of the probable winners. Atletico Madrid, obviously coming off that loss in the Madrid derby. They'll be looking to go as far as they can in this competition. Atletico Madrid are made for these kind of competitions. They really are. And I think the biggest thing with Atletico Madrid, which jumps out to me, is this is a team that's now played together a long time. You've got a lot of guys in there who've been there a long time. Jimenez has been there a long time. Even Stefan Savic has been there now a long time. Koke's been there a long time. Saul Niguez has been there a long time. You've got Luis Suarez with a point to prove. Atletico Madrid are a dangerous team. Chelsea, woo! Man, that's tough. That's not a good draw for Chelsea. That's one of the ones they'd have wanted to avoid. That's gonna be a tough, bitty game. That's kind of an experienced old head Atletico Madrid team against some younger guys at Chelsea. So that's tricky. So we've got Leipzig potentially against Liverpool, Juve, Real Madrid. So our guy Hala Madrid, is this going to be it? Is it going to be Real Madrid? You got a 1 in 3 chance here for the team that you wanted to avoid. Oh, drum roll. Liverpool. Okay, you got lucky. You got lucky. That's going to be a good game. You got two German-minded coaches who have a similar kind of style. Liverpool, obviously, much the better team, but are very hurt. We'll see what they do in the January transfer window. But you know, Nagelsmann against Klopp, I want to see that, man. Porto, right now is Hala Madrid. Is our guy Hala Madrid going to get what he wants here? Dortmund need this. Dortmund need this. If Dortmund are going to progress, they need to play a team like Porto. The other teams you would expect to win: PSG, Real Madrid, and Juventus. You'd expect them to win, but Dortmund, they need a draw like this to try and get any further here, especially with a new manager coming in. Juventus, easy one for Juve. I honestly think that, especially with somebody like Ronaldo. I mean, you know, we got to be honest here. This is a guy who only cares about the big moments. And it doesn't get any bigger than the Champions League. We've seen his success there, and a team like Porto are not going to be able to stop him. So we're getting down now to some more predictable ones. We've got Barcelona, obviously them as kind of a second, you know, a second runner-up team. Dortmund or PSG. I want PSG for this one, personally. I want to see that Neymar against Messi, you know, them chatting again. Obviously, we've also still got the rumours that maybe Messi will go to PSG. You know, that's something we can't rule out as well. Barcelona against PSG. We got what we wanted, ladies and gents. Well, I got what I wanted. So I like the draws so far. There's a couple of good games, and then a couple of games where you'd think one team is just going to go through. In my opinion, you want the better teams to still be in the competition as it gets later into the round. So Man City should beat Borussia Mönchengladbach. Bayern should beat Lazio. Juve should beat Porto. Obviously, you can't just have easy games across the board. There's got to be some tricky games in there. So Atletico Chelsea will be tough. Barca PSG will be tough. Even Leipzig Liverpool will be tough. But I think as far as we're concerned, that's gone pretty well. That's gone pretty well. You know, we wanna have some fun saved for the later rounds. You know what I mean? Oh, no, got that wrong. I'm sorry, ladies and gents. Atalanta. Let me type that wrong. Dude, you got to be happy. Hala Madrid has got to be happy. Atalanta not playing as well as they did last year. Wow. Okay. So, yeah, hope Neymar is fit, dude. Me too. For the neutral, that's what I want. So let's have a look at these. Let's have a look at these games real quick. Maybe go into a little more detail if we can. Just kind of assess what we're looking at here. So bear with me a second. So if we go to the Bundesliga table, just see how Mönchengladbach are looking. So yeah, Borussia Mönchengladbach, spotty form, 4 wins, 5 draws, 2 losses. So in the Bundesliga, and as the Bundesliga goes, it seems like it's a tough team to get because they don't lose many games. But this is in the Bundesliga, and a team like Man City, you'd think Man City will spend money in January as well. If it were me, you have to do it on a striker. I've said this to James for months now. You can't rely on Sergio Aguero, who gets tapped and then goes down for 4 weeks with an injury. Gabriel Jesus is not a good enough striker to play for Man City, in my opinion. So you need something there because Sterling's not at it like he was. Kevin De Bruyne can't carry your team. You know, De Bruyne needs pieces to actually pass to. That's kind of the most important thing for him. Regardless, I would still fully expect this Man City team to beat Borussia Mönchengladbach. Like I said, I like the draw. I like the draw mainly because it's one of the better teams, and your chances are they'll go through. What we want is quarterfinals, semi-finals, and finals, with it being good teams, so we get a better spectacle of things. Bayern Munich against Lazio, I think I've told you guys this 100 times. Bayern Munich are the best team in the world. There's absolutely nothing, that would dissuade me from that kind of opinion. Like you say, Man City do get a nice draw a lot of the times. I'm okay with that. I want the better teams to progress. Lazio are 9th in Serie A. They're not what they were before. Ciro Immobile has not been hitting the goals like he usually does. Some of their better players that you would usually look at and think, oh yeah, these guys are brilliant, aren't really hitting it. Obviously, we don't want to see Lazio do too well. But yeah, this is Bayern Munich. This is the most deep, varied, motivated, talented squad in the Champions League, in the world, in my opinion. There's been a couple of questionable results, but a lot of the time, I do just think that they're waiting for the big moments to come through. Atletico Madrid, Chelsea. That's kind of the game I'm most excited for personally. I know Barca, PSG will probably get a lot of the headlines, but man, Atletico Madrid, they just lost their first game against Real Madrid in the Madrid derby on the weekend. Chelsea look really good. Obviously, apart from that kind of relatively boring 0-0 with Spurs, Chelsea are just on the ascendancy. But it's quite, apart from a couple of players, so Thiago Silva, maybe even Giroud. God, really scraping the barrel here for experienced players. Kante, Jorginho. It's quite an inexperienced Chelsea team, like a young Chelsea team. And I think that there's going to be some tactical nous and some shithousery going on from the Atletico Madrid team, who really know their stuff when it comes to these kind of competitions, especially in Europe. Atletico Madrid have played with each other, that squad, for a long, long time now. It's going to be very difficult, in my opinion, for Chelsea to get a result there. But who knows? This Chelsea team are very, very good. They could surprise everybody, and they have the raw and natural talent to be able to get by. But that's the game I'm most excited for. Like I said, a cheesed off Suarez coming back to England. We like that. That's always fun. Leipzig, Liverpool, tricky, very tricky. Leipzig are playing really, really well. It was 3-3 with Bayern when they played each other recently. That was kind of a big deal. Liverpool, the injury bug's going to kill them. But I think the thing that is most interesting about this game for me is you got Nagelsmann against Klopp. You got these two German with that kind of gegenpress, high press, heavy metal football, as Klopp calls it, tactically going against one another. So we'll see. We'll see about that. Hope they don't put two good games on the same night, mate. That's up to the broadcasters. At the end of the day, that's up to them. Porto, Juve, yeah. Porto nowhere near Juve's level. Juve have Ronaldo. That's all I really need to say about that. I'd be blown away if Porto did anything in that game. Barca, PSG, that's kind of interesting. Barca are obviously playing really badly at the moment. PSG also not doing as well as they really probably should be in Liga. It's going to be about individual brilliance. It's not going to be about a tactical battle and which coach outsmarts which coach. I mean, Tuchel, Koeman, I think you've got two pretty overrated managers right there, in my opinion. It'll be a moment of brilliance from somebody like Messi, or a moment of brilliance somebody like Neymar or Kylian Mbappe, that I think is going to set that game alight. We'll see. Barcelona. It's very difficult for me to get behind Barcelona. I'm hoping that this new regime that comes in, the new president comes in, hopefully Messi goes out, lets Barcelona do something else. Just because I want Messi to get success either with this Barcelona team or somewhere else, but he needs the help. The guy PSG need is Zidane. Man, I'm not gonna tell you you're wrong there. I agree with you. French capital. in my opinion, France's all-time best player, Zinedine Zidane. I think I have him like third or fourth, my all-time best players list. Zinedine Zidane, he's unreal. He's unreal. We've never seen anything like it, as the bell goes here. So that one I think would be pretty easy. Sevilla, Borussia Dortmund. I mean, that's kind of the best. Yeah, best man manager. Well, I think the thing is, he just gets so much respect the moment he walks in the room. You know what I mean? And I think there's a certain level of that for. Is that you? Yeah. I think there's a certain level of that for Juventus as well with Pirlo. You know, I don't know, and Frank Lampard too. Gerrard, I'm sure. Don't know about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, but you walk into the room and you go, oh my God, that's Zinedine Zidane. Like, oh my God, whatever he's saying, I'm going to listen because this is one of the best players of all time. So I've got to agree with you there. I think he'd be a great fit at PSG. I think Neymar, Mbappe, all those guys would really respect him. Sevilla, Dortmund. Obviously, Dortmund are going to have a new manager here pretty soon. I don't know who it's going to be. Dortmund usually don't really do the predictable thing in getting a manager. I'd love it to be Pochettino. I don't think he'll take that job, but I think that would be a great fit for him. Dortmund and Pochettino, I think, would be a good little marriage. Sevilla are good in these knockout competitions, not just from the Unai Emery days, but with Lopetegui as well. Strong in these knockout competitions. They have a lot of savvy players who know how to get wins. Thing with Dortmund, Jadon Sancho, Erling Haaland, Gio Reyna, Marco Reus, Julian Brandt, any of these kind of attacking talents can do something. Haaland can score a hat-trick with no support from his team. And then, it's game over. And that's kind of the level we're talking about with Dortmund, but the team performance isn't there. So at the moment, we really are talking about a team of individuals with individual brilliance playing a proper team. So that'll be a close game. I'm interested in that. And Real Madrid, Atalanta. I mean, Real Madrid couldn't have asked for a lot better. I think this means they can probably relax a little bit more about the Champions League. They can maybe focus on the league a bit more. That win against Atletico Madrid is a real statement in La Liga. If Real Madrid can get some wins together, Atletico drop points, maybe a couple of draws knocking around, Real Madrid might be right back in that picture for the league. I agree with you. Hala Madrid, I think there needs to be some refreshing there in the midfield and in attack. I think that's a major issue. But I would also tell you that the money they've saved on not spending that money means that they might be able to do something crazy. Kylian Mbappe next summer is not out of the question. It really isn't. I know it sounds maybe a bit mad, but letting a few players go, Bale potentially going to be totally off the wage bill at that point. Maybe Benzema will move on. Who knows? There's a chance that we could be talking about Real Madrid with Kylian Mbappe as their main man up front and at number 9. So, guys, I think that about does it. That actually, that concluded a lot quicker than I thought it would. Obviously, it took a little while for us to get going there. I mean, usually they like to do a lot of kind of talking and a lot of waffle on the stage there, but they got going 15 minutes maybe after they kind of should have done. Call me crazy, but I think at the moment, Atletico Madrid will come third behind us and Barca. No, man, I think you're correct. I think this Barca team are in trouble, personally. It's not looking good. The new regime needs to come in and they need to get rid of some players. I mean, I love Miralem Pjanic. That's my guy, but God, getting rid of Arta for Miralem Pjanic, it's not a good deal. They need to spend some serious money. I would move on without Messi. Personally, get him off the wage bill. Let kind of Ansu Fati and these kind of kids rock and roll and get going a little more. I think they deserve their chance and their opportunity. And it's a time as well where if Ronald Koeman is not going to be the guy going forward, they can maybe try somebody else next season who they want to really, really build around with this new manager and new president, new regime. I think it's Atletico Madrid's title to lose. Personally, I do think Real Madrid will finish second. And Real Sociedad are still plugging away up there. I think they probably make top 4 as well. So we'll see. But yes, guys, Really enjoyed that. Some really good draws there. My pick, best draw. I love Atletico Chelsea. I think it's going to be so interesting. Even Leipzig Liverpool is interesting. You know, we got a blockbuster game in Barcelona against PSG, and then some other games where you hope the better team makes it through, so that when we get to the knockout stages further along, quarterfinals, semi-finals, final, that we're talking about two really good teams instead of a team totally dominant over another team. Sorry, James couldn't join us at the moment. We're hoping to get some videos to react to the weekend's action tonight, hopefully, especially talking about Arsenal. I know James, as an Arsenal fan, I'm sure has plenty to say about that 1-0 loss to Burnley. Roma played well at the weekend. I'm just putting that out there. 5-1 in the first half. 2 own goals, 1 for each team. That was a bit wild as well. But things looking good there. Midweek, I'll have my power rankings come out again. Some big changes. Liverpool, I think, got a draw against Fulham, right? Chelsea as well. I think it was only a draw for that game as well. So, guys, I don't know what to tell you, but some big teams are going to be dropping. Atletico Madrid lost 2-0. So I think that top 5 in my power rankings, which has been really solid for a long time, that's probably going to start changing. Some teams are going to move around. Anyway, thank you very much for joining me for this stream. I don't think we'll do a live reaction to the Europa League. It's just not got quite the luster as it once had. But let us know. Let us know in the comments as well of this video after we're done streaming. Let us know on Twitter, on Instagram too, and just say if you do want to stream. It's something that I think James and I will potentially be able to do. Arsenal obviously in there, Roma in there too. So maybe we will. But yeah, guys, thank you for checking in and watching with me here, and we'll see you next time.